Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield here at the show that I christened last year, the best show in West End history, and it's done it again. I saw it last night. Miss Saigon is on here at the Prince Edward Theatre, and it is stunning, as is Eva. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am delicious. And Chris, how are you?
I am excellent, thank you.
You really are, and it must be marvellous to be you, because I'm a deeply unattractive man, and... No, Eva, stop laughing. And there you are. You walk out on stage, and there's sort of this intake of breath. It's sickening.
An intake from the audience?
Yes.
No, you're lying.
I'm serious. I mean, you come on with those arms. I don't know what you do. Are they painted on or are they real?
Oh, they're real. Hugh Maynard, the John and I, he gave me a tip. There's stage weights on the side. So before I enter, I will do bicep curls.
Yeah, it's no good because all I do is leave feeling inadequate. Can you stop doing that? It's no good.
I promise to stop.
Where do we start with this show? I mean, I've loved it since it opened, and for me it is the most technically brilliant artistic show that's ever been on in the West End. Every light, every move, every scene has been so beautifully crafted, proving that Cameron is the greatest producer in history, and then he has to therefore find the best cast in history. And I've seen you 5 times, Eva, do this show, and I don't know how you do it. You're up there in the 3 best performances I've ever seen in 20 years. It is stunning. Congratulations.
Thank you. Wow, that's very kind.
And you're 19 years old.
Yeah, it's crazy, I guess.
It's insane.
Yeah.
What's it like being you? I mean, you come out and you sing these numbers and you have the voice of an angel. It must be the greatest compliment on earth that you're the star of this biggest show on earth.
It's an honor, really, and I try to take it day by day, because if I think of it too much, it gets very overwhelming. But I have fun still, and I love the show, and I love making my character real and find different quirks about her every day. So it's fun. I enjoy myself.
And what I think Cameron's done with this show more than any in the past has made it more authentic. It is naughty in places. It is kind of rude and vulgar because that's what the story is. This ain't some nice story of love, fall in love and go off and be happy ever after.
No, it begins in a brothel. I mean, it's not a kind story.
As do most of my nights in the West End, let me tell you.
I'm sure.
You've just come in and taken over this role as Chris, which is really good because in the publicity they can just call you Chris and it works well, yep. Saves on the words. You've got this amazing tone about you, and of course you've got to be handsome because that's the guy falls in love. Yeah, don't you?
I'm kidding.
Eva, listen, they ain't casting me in this role. Come on, be real.
Oh, no, I'd cast you.
An elephant in The Lion King, maybe. But
we talked about that.
We did. I've always wanted to be a giraffe in The Lion King.
Hey, I would love to be a giraffe, too.
It's a long pink thing with spots.
I don't know if you would have carried that, though, every day. That's pretty heavy, I imagine, that costume.
When I see your career, I mean, it's amazing. You've done so much, and you've toured, and now you get to do this show here. I can't imagine there's a better leading role for someone like you in any musical because the songs are just anthemic, and you get to kill it every night and get that standing ovation.
Yeah, there's not. This is the best role that I've ever played. I'm thrilled being here.
And I always feel sorry for people like the Phantom. I mean, there's the star, but we don't get to see him because they're covered with their face, and they're on stage about 4.5 minutes. I mean, you drive this show the whole thing, don't you?
Yeah, well, especially the beginning, the Act 1. There's a good, 30, 35, 40 minutes where I'm just going through it, and it's awesome.
And then you come on and sing that song on the stairs. My God, I think is the song that you open with. And that's the moment we go, can he do it or can he not? What pressure is on you that opening night, the first time you stand there in front of those thousands of people and open your mouth and hope it happens?
Well, on my opening night, I was sick. So there was a lot of pressure. I was just like, please get it out. Please get out the notes. Luckily, it all came out. But yeah, I was suffering from a pretty bad cold on my first day.
I've asked this question before, Eva. Do you ever do 100% show where you feel perfect? Is it possible when you're churning out so many of these massive shows every week?
Yeah, I don't think it's possible to do 100% in my eyes every night because I'm an absolute perfectionist. But I give what I can absolutely give, and that's, as much as I can that evening, depending on, there's a lot of factors in it. But, if you do your best every night, then you're gonna, please, if the audience is pleased and the story is told, then you've done your job. But you can't do a ballpark every night because I can't, because I'll find flaws in everything in my performance.
Do you realise how blessed you are? And this is a really sycophantic question, but to find somebody who can act as well as you and then sing it as well as you and deliver the whole thing as well as you and look like you do, is a 1 in a million chance. You're so blessed and perfect for this role. In the line of like, I was born down here with this face and you're born there with that talent. I mean, it's remarkable, isn't it?
I do feel very blessed, and I'm very thankful and grateful to be here. At the same time, it still takes work. I'm working every day. This, as much as this is my passion and this is, my hobby and what I love to do, this is still work, and I still try to strengthen myself as an actor and as a young woman who, still very young, trying to figure out who I am.
Right, I get it. And then, of course, the call comes in and they say, can you do this role? And you were 17 at the time, were you?
Yes, I was 17 at the time when I was auditioning. And it was scary because I never actually interacted with anyone else during the auditions. It was always me and Lawrence, or, me and James or somebody in the room. But I never saw any other girls. I never sang with a Chris. So it was weird. It was really weird.
They took the risk with you. When that call came in confirming you got the gig, were you fearful or was it the most exciting moment of your life?
I actually didn't get a call. They told me I had one more call back. And then after that call back, Cameron says, why don't you see a show in town? This was in New York. See a show in town with your dad, and we'll do one more call back tomorrow at the Majestic Theater. So I did the call back the next day, and he just pulled me in the auditorium and said, would you like to move to London? And I was like, maybe. And I started crying. Yeah, there were lots of tears.
And then you see your face on the posters and all of that in this enormous theatre that Cameron, again, in his own way, has done up and made beautiful. So then it becomes a job and a reality. That opening night, how did you feel? How did you even manage to get out of your dressing room on stage? Because anyone else at 17 would have been petrified.
I was nervous, but I was so excited. I've wanted to do this since I was a fetus, so why would I stop myself now that I've given the opportunity? I love it. I had so much fun, and at the end, of course, as soon as the curtain comes down, we all just... Everyone, it was an electrifying night.
And then last night, you're on, and you're the new guy who plays this role of Chris. Vocally demanding, I wonder how difficult this show is, because, you've done a lot in the past. Is it a tough scene?
It's one of the toughest, and not necessarily just because of the singing. It's actually a lot of the yelling that is required. You have to yell Kim, I don't know how many times. There's just a lot of aggressive sort of yelling.
Wish you'd behave more in the show.
I know, I'm so naughty.
That's what takes the toll. That's really what takes the toll. And then the singing is almost, I can relax, now I can actually sing.
And there's some really exciting moments for you where you get to just steal that moment with the pin focus. What are you thinking? Are you even aware of the audience, or are you just in the moment of your song?
I'm definitely in the moment of the song. I've performed now for, 25 years. I've been a long time. I'm old.
Mind you, we're all old compared to you, aren't we?
So I've been performing for a long time. So honestly, I'm comfortable in the circumstances where I can look out and do an audience. In fact, it energizes me rather than weakens me.
You can't become morbidly obese in this role. It wouldn't work. How much of your day is spent in the gym and working on these arms?
I go to the gym probably 2 or 3 times a week, and that's it. The rest I leave to warm-ups before the show. If you go too much, then you get exhausted and you don't have enough energy for the show.
And I guess that's what it's about in a show like this when you're doing it for year on year, is pacing yourself. How much holiday have you had? Because as far as I can see, you don't take a lot of time off, do you even?
Well, we get, like a month and a half off?
So, yeah, I think 4 weeks a year is...
Yeah, and it's enough. But I think sometimes we have those weeks that just drag. Like for me, I go on holiday in 2 weeks, so I'm on cloud 9. I couldn't, But it gets hard sometimes, especially Christmas season, because we're not allowed to be with our family on Christmas, so...
There is a reality to this, that you're in the greatest show on earth, and when you look back at 50, this will have been the greatest period of your life. However, right now, friends and family, they're busy, they can't be flying in every minute. How do you avoid yourself being lonely? Is the cast your family? I know it sounds cliched, but they kind of must be.
The cast is my family, yeah. I've got a very supportive cast, a very supportive family, supportive boyfriend. I'm great, I think some people get confused that I get really lonely and I get really homesick, and I do, but I've wanted to know what I wanted to do since forever, and I'm very confident in that. So there's no need for me to want to be back where I was when I'm here doing my job. So. How
many times a week do you tell your boyfriend he's the luckiest guy on earth?
Oh, it's like every day. Every day. No.
He must pinch himself.
I don't know. You can ask him. I don't know.
That must be something when he's in the crowd. That must be a thing.
You know what? His brother and his his brother's new wife are actually watching tonight, and I get really nervous.
Do a good one. Don't phone it in tonight. No phoning it in.
I'm tempted to.
There is no way you could do that because this show would just fall apart. It's a killer acting performance as much as an acting singing performance.
I think I underestimate sometimes. So I think in the beginning it was so much to have a normal day, right? Go to the gym, do your thing, come to work, and then it's so emotional and it's so, you never stop. Kim and Chris, they just don't stop throughout the whole show. So there's no way I can go into work and not have those 5 minutes alone in my dressing room to just get in the zone. You have to have that, or you will be on another planet doing the show, and that just does not work.
I can't remember who said it, but they said we were all born equally. You only have to see this show to realise we are not, as your arms prove and as your voice proves and as your acting proves. Congratulations to both of you. I mean, it is a mesmerising show. It's one of those, really, if there was no one in it, it'd still be pretty good. That orchestra's sensational. Yeah. The sound is on top of its game, and I love that. I go in so many of these theatres and the sound's crap, and it does ruin the show. Every note of that orchestra you can hear, and you go really quiet sometimes, as do both of you. There are moments of great intimacy, and we can hear it. It makes a difference. And then you add into that your performance, and your stunning talent is remarkable. Eva, congratulations. You are going to be one of the world's biggest stars. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And as for you, Chris, be less handsome. It's annoying.
I'll try.
Listen, well done. I mean, to see you in this last night for the first time, you own that role and you look the part, which is amazing. And vocally, you kill it as well. So that's brilliant. Congratulations.
I really appreciate that.
Miss Saigon's on here at the Prince Edward Theatre, and it's playing at least until the end of the year. We know that. And then Aladdin's coming in. So what happens after then? It could go on tour, and I hope it does, because for the regions to see this would be a thrill. Whether you do it or not, it's a different issue, but this is such a magnificent production. Guys, thank you for talking to me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.